Hi everyone, I'm Ben and I play Nim, a Ghostwise Halfling Ranger. Due to a series of difficult events, I found myself clambering through the Underdark. My life as an academic has took a severe left turn and consequently I've spent the last 8 years underground learning the ways of the Gloom Stalker. Today I emerged for the first time in 8 years back into the overworld, and this is the story of how I found my way to East Runewood and met up with the group in the day prior to our adventure.
Just coming out of the Underdark. It is the first time you have seen the sun in about 8 years. It happens to be on a good day. The sun is high in the sky, which might be bad for your eyes. Not very cloudy, but you haven't smelt grass. You haven't smelt anything but like mildew and mold and just dampness for years. What's like the first thing going through your mind?
I feel like I'm going to vomit. Everything is a little bit overpowering. We'd quite like to get some fresh water. It would be nice to find a stream.
The cave you're coming out of is on the side of a mountainside. So you've got a nice view of everything in front of you. You see a couple of smokestacks off in the distance, some signs of civilization, a forest before you. You can kind of hear birds chirping. If there's birds, if there's wildlife, water is definitely nearby. So you can there is water. If you go kind of down the mountain, which I'm assuming you've dealt with climbing down things in the Underdark, right?
Yeah, I'm quite acrobatic.
Yeah, at the bottom of, it's almost like you're in the middle of a mountain range. So there's definitely a valley at the bottom, a river you can kind of just see poking out through a couple of treetops. So you can definitely get down there and get some fresh water for once.
Okay, I'd like to sort of start making my way sort of gingerly down the mountainside, sort of taking the sights a little bit, but without looking up at the sky too much because it's all a bit high and it goes on for a very long way.
Yeah, you're kind of used to a ceiling above your head for the past couple of years.
Yeah, so the sky's a little bit like, if I look up at the sky, sort of get a bit of vertigo. Things are all a bit kind of high up here. So yeah, just kind of keep my eyes downward and sort of gingerly make my way down the mountainside, try and find some fresh water. Don't particularly need the water, just I want it.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
What have you been kind of living on in the Underdark?
Well, there's fresh food and water down there, but I mean, it's not necessarily fresh. A lot of the water is filtered, through filtration systems to kind of get rid of toxins and such that kind of creep their way in from the fungus. The water itself is fine. It's okay to drink, but it's a long way from the water that you might be used to as someone that's only ever lived in the overworld. And as far as food goes, it's more or less hunted meat, game, things like that.
Okay.
It's quite a gamey diet.
Well, as you get a little closer to you're going down the mountainside, getting closer to the stream, you're starting to hear a bit more. You're hearing a little bit of rapids. It's not so much a stream as it is kind of a small river. And you can kind of see that there's, some foot traffic is kind of near a major path, not on your side of the river, but the other side. You can kind of see just like a slight dirt road. And kind of around your general area, you kind of hear twigs and sticks kind of breaking as if something's around you.
Okay, I'm not really sure I can deal with people just yet. Mm-hmm. So I would quite like to crouch down and either get up or get behind a tree. What are the trees like around me?
In this area, kind of by the river itself, there's not really many, but off to the sides, like maybe about 20, 30 yards back, there's actually a slight tree line you pass through before you hit the river. So you can backtrack a bit and climb up a tree.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to backtrack and perhaps sort of get down around. Is there any thickets or anything around the bases of the trees?
Yeah, there's some thick brush.
Yeah, I'd quite like to back up and get in amongst that brush and just sort of scout out what this sound is. I don't think it's probably threatening, but I'm not really sure I can cope with it just yet. If there's a lot, I just want to sort of see what. Like, I'd quite like to meet people on my own terms, so I'm gonna kind of back up and see what it is first.
After about 5 minutes, the cracking, the crinkling, you can definitely hear dirt moving underfoot around you. It's not one set of footsteps. It's more like 4 or 6. It's whatever it is. You can tell there's quite a few of them. Go ahead and roll me a nature check.
Okay, 7.
So it's been a while since you've been on above ground. You can't quite tell if this is human, animal, creature, any kind of creature, but it's still coming closer.
Okay. Is there any tracks on the floor? Like, can I see a track? Does this look like it's a trail that might have been used?
This side of the river, no, that's over on the other side, but the noises you're hearing are definitely from this side of the river.
Okay.
Any tracks you kind of see, they look older, probably within the past. Use your nature roll. You just did. You can't quite tell. Maybe within the past 3 or 4 hours. Nothing really all that recent.
Okay. I mean, I could just wait it out, but can I tell? Is there a particular direction this is coming from, or does it sound like I might be surrounded?
It's definitely from only one direction, so it's not like all around you. It's definitely from just one particular side.
Okay, could I roll stealth and follow where the sound is coming from?
Yeah, by all means. Holy shit.
24.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm pretty stealthy.
Yeah, so even though it's been a while since you've been around nature, been around, trees, plants, you're right there. You're in the dirt. It's kind of what you're used to. So you know how to step on soil. You know, to step around rocks. The branches you can see every branch around you to kind of avoid it so that you don't make any noise. And you're just stealthing through this bush, this thicket. And you see a small herd of deer kind of walking in the direction that would be upriver.
Wow, that's pretty overwhelming. It's been a little while since I've seen an animal that doesn't look like a mutant.
That tends to happen, yeah.
I'm just going to kind of sit and watch them for a second. And
you're going to see a few of the younger ones are going to go to the river and just get a drink. Definitely, it's a single stag, about 3 does and 2 calves. Whatever you call a young deer. Fawn. You see a stag, 2 doe, and about 3 or so fawns. And the fawns are off kind of near the water drinking. The stag is kind of towards the back a little bit, kind of just overseeing its family more or less as they're walking through the forest in a pretty much upriver direction. And they have no idea that you're there.
This is just going to be really boring, but I kind of just want to sit and watch them and just sort of reconnect with something that's alive and not threatening. It's been a little while since I've seen nature that doesn't want to rip my head off.
The Underdark was a pretty trying time for a while, I take it.
Yeah, it was not a lot of happiness. Not happiness, but everything is a threat, and you have to see everything as a threat. You can't ever drop your guard and just sort of relax, because even things which look perhaps unthreatening have probably got a brain and will probably eat you.
after about 5 minutes, this family of deer have gone up a little bit, and you're gonna hear a little bit of noise coming from a bit further back where they were, and you're still hunched down in the thicket. The deer have walked past you, not a problem. The stag is still keeping a decent bit back, and the noise you hear is going to get a little bit closer, and then you're going to hear the unmistakable sound of a bow and an arrow being released. And you see that an arrow is just going to appear in the back of the neck of the stag. It's going to rear up, and another one's going to follow shortly thereafter. And the stag is going to fall. The two doe and the fawns are going to take off upriver. And the stag is just, you're going to see like the blood start to just pour out of his neck and just start to puddle around a bit.
It's a bit harsh. Okay, I'm still stealth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to assume that whoever shot that is going to come out and check its kill. So I would like to just watch for a second and see who or what it is and get like a bit of a eye on the situation for a second before I act.
Okay. After about, not even a few seconds are going to go by, and the footsteps not really being sneaky anymore, but full on. Anyone a good few feet away could hear someone walking, heading every branch, pushing around leaves. And you're going to see this, looks to be about like adolescent, kind of a half elf. You see like little points to the ears. A male just come out, and he's got like hunting leathers on. It's a little bit dragged, a little bit kind of rough for wear. Finally, I got one of them. Fucker's been leading me around in circles for hours. So he's just gonna dip down, kneel down onto a knee, just pull the arrows out, kind of just brush it in the stream nearby, and just put them back in his quiver. No damage. I can reuse these. Bow is over his back, and you can kind of see he's just going to get out his knife and get out just like a short piece of rope and just start binding the parts of the deer. Bind the deer's legs together and just get like a nice little leash almost, and just like a dragging position. This deer, it looks to be about 2 to 3 times it's hit the guy's size, so he can't really lift this thing. He's hoping to just be able to drag it off the path, out of the way, and maybe be able to start taking this, dressing the deer.
How much does he weigh? Like, is he malnourished or is he doing quite well?
He's got a little bit of a belly on him. Almost like a bit of a skinny fat thing going on.
Skinny fat.
Only place that really has some weight on it is he's got like almost a beer gut, but the rest of him is kind of toned a little bit. You can kind of see he's maybe been doing this for a while, but he's not very malnourished. But you can kind of see that now that he's a bit closer, tying up the deer. You can see he's got almost trophies on him, like some of the gear he has. It was made from wildlife.
Okay, so he's all right though. He's not like, he's hunting because he needs it. He's not just being a douche shooting animals. Yeah. So that's fine. So I'm going to kind of still in stealth just for, a little bit of a surprise. I'm going to walk up behind him and just say, do you know where we are? And
the expression, he's going to swing around. He's still got his knife in his hand. And he's going to almost bring it up in an aggressive way, but not do anything with it yet. Fuck you, where did you come from? Who? Where were you?
I was just watching your kill from the bush. But I'm a little, not really 100% on where we are, locale-wise. I wondered, nice shot, by the way. I wondered, are you from a village around here, or?
He's gonna just put his knife back in. He's got like a bandolier of a few blades across his chest, and he's gonna put that back in. You kind of see he's just gonna put his hand on his chest. Boy, you scared the shit out of me. We're not far from. Well, there's two nearby. You've got West Spring a bit further to the south, but the closest one is East Runewood. That's about where I'm from.
East Runewood. I'm not sure I've heard of that. Do you know of Ironclad? Are we near Ironclad?
Oh yeah, we're about, I'd say, 6 days travel north of Ironclad.
Oh, okay. So I've got thanks. All right. This Runewood that you speak of, if I follow this stream south, is that going to take me there? Or
yeah, it will depart off the forest a little bit. He's gonna point around. We're kind of on the tree line of the forest rune. Follow this out.
What's your plans? I can help you carry this deer, and I'll come back with you if you're headed that way.
Yeah, he's gonna take out another lash of rope, and you're gonna see he's gonna tie another bit around it. He's gonna just hand you the end of it. Help me take this deer back. I'll lead you, and I'll say you can have a leg or two if you like.
That's very kind. I would, I'll definitely take you up on that. Let's crack on. Let's get this beast down the hill.
Fantastic. This has been a unexpected. I didn't know how the hell I was getting this thing back anyways. I was going to start chopping it up here.
What's it like around here? Is it pretty calm, or are we likely to come across anything on the way back that I need to know of? Or
this far north? No, not really. It's when you get a bit further south of the towns. That's when you need to start worrying a little bit. Kobolds have been in the area.
Okay, but they're not this far north. We should be all right going back tonight, right?
Yeah, no, we'll be fine. The real problem is the kobolds by the quarry. And where'd you come from?
Just a little bit up the hill.
You heard of West Spring?
I've never been there myself, but I mean, I heard a little about. I've got a not bad idea of the land, but it's been a while, to be honest. Why is something happened there recently, or?
We're not quite sure. It's been tense as of late. A lot of disappearances have been happening if you travel towards West Spring. So we'll stick to this side of the river, head to East Runewood, and we'll stay clear of anything that could, hold us back.
Sure. Okay. Let's do it.
And you can see he's got the rope over his shoulder. He's just going to start off. And can you describe Nim a little bit, kind of what he looks like? I know he's a halfling, so he's not quite the tallest.
Yeah, so he's about 3'1". Not, quite, not big. But no, not kind of, he's not very muscly or anything, but he's not fat at all. So quite lithe, got quite long-ish hair down to about his jawline. But in general, he tends to keep a kind of leather hood up that kind of turns into a shawl. It's basically like a leather shawl, leather armor. Looks a bit ragged, quite dark shades of kind of blacks and dark blues. Basically handmade equipment from the Underdark, which is all quite, like the leather in the Underdark it's tough leather, but it's not the most attractive to look at. It's scarred and, unique, you might call it. You can't really find a hide that doesn't have some form of character to it. It's quite a raggedy affair.
He's going to look down at you a little bit, I'd say you guys have probably been walking for about 5, 10 minutes. And he's gonna look down and like, the weight okay for you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Don't worry about me. I've had my share of physical activities. I'm not too bad. Have we got how far is it to go? Is it a long way?
Ish. It'd take about maybe another 30 minutes, about another half hour.
Oh yeah, no, we'll be fine. What about you? Do you need to stop?
No, no, believe me, this is easier than what I thought I was going to do originally. My son wasn't able to come up with me today, so I thought I might just grab one of the fawn or the doe, but that stag was just. He's gonna look back a little bit. You guys are walking. Too good to pass up.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I like to, collect everything that I can, just in case. Sometimes you see something and you just think, I can't leave that on the floor. Yeah, I've got you.
Yeah, he's gonna kinda just with one free hand. He's gonna like touch a few things on him. Like, yeah, I understand what you mean there. See that all of his daggers in the bandolier all the hilts are made of look to be like they're just made out of antlers of different kinds of deers. One of them looks to be almost a dagger on the back end, like a nail or a finger off some clawed beast. So he's like, I understand you there, boy.
You've been hunting for a while? Is this your job? Is this your role in the village, or are you a butcher, or how's this village work? Are you guys? You'll have to excuse me, but I'm not sure. I've been to some pretty primitive places. Do you have like a proper hierarchy? Are you a butcher or a hunter? Like, does it have commerce?
I'm a hunter, but for myself. East Runewood, I'd say. Well, you're familiar with Ironclad. I'd say East Runewood is about the size of one of their small districts.
Oh, okay.
Not big, but for this area, it's pretty well off. The Triad kind of run the town. 3 individuals each have some power and say as what goes on in the city. Other than that, my wife has been ill for the past few weeks, so I've been taking care of her. Haven't been really going into work lately. So I come out once or twice a week just to grab some food for the house.
Okay, you're quite up for a chat, aren't you? Quite open.
It's not often I get, new folk around.
Maybe we should swap Facebook when we get back. No. Yeah. Who's this triad that you talk about?
The triad themselves, it's kind of the governing body that we have in the city. It's so that one person has no power. Too much power. They kind of split up governing the city between 3 people. So there can be no ties. One person can't really hold too much of it.
Okay.
So they kind of decided up that way probably about a decade ago after the Ironclad Council kind of made this one of their districts.
Okay. You're not like communists?
No, we work for the Empire. The Shattered Empire.
That's a bit of a shame. Sorry, what's your name? I haven't actually asked your name.
Oh, my name's Wilbur.
Hey, Wilbur.
He's kind of just gonna flick his ear a little bit, just kind of as if you didn't notice before. He's kind of just like acknowledging, like he's not quite human, not quite elf. Wilbur Cowell. And your name?
It's Nim.
Pleasure, Nim. Not often we get any of your folks of your stature around here.
What are you saying?
Oh, halflings. Don't often see them in this area.
Right. I mean, you don't have to tread on eggshells. I'm aware that I'm sure you can get it out in the open, yeah?
Oh,
You got a problem with it?
no, you got a strong back for helping me carry this deer. I got no issue.
Right,
Believe
well,
me.
then we're good.
Yeah.
Well, my tribe specifically, we don't get around much. I mean, nomadic and we trade, but kind of keep ourselves to ourselves. You won't catch many sort of getting along with other people, really.
Yeah.
I kind of cast that aside a little bit.
He's kind of just going to look around, just take a deep breath in. Sometimes you got to get away from it all.
Yeah, it's a bit. What? I mean, since we got this deer and, we're, or stag rather, and we've got a long way to travel, you told me about your wife. I didn't really get on with them. They're a bit constricting. At the time, I thought it was okay. I was fine with it. And then I found a different way and just sort of, it was more appealing.
If you don't mind me asking, what have you been doing lately?
Do you know the Underdark?
I've heard of it, not much one for darkness myself. Not really a fan of the cramped kind of spaces. I like the sky above my head, not a ceiling.
Yeah, I've been down there for a while. I like the sky above my head. Not today. It's taken me, it's a bit big, but it grows on you. I'll say that much. It does grow on you. It's got a certain kind of charm in a way. Once you get past its difficult surface, scratch underneath a little bit, and it's got a charm.
Have you been living down there? Hell, boy, you've got some balls on you. He's gonna just stare forward. I've had nothing but nightmares coming from the Underdark. Then again, I haven't really heard anything great about it until just now.
To be honest, it's just like any other place. It's got a lot of bad things, sure. But if you're down there, it's got its positives. The good thing is you go down there, you tend to find a bunch of like-minded people. As long as you're with those people, then everyone's kind of all right. It's tight little community, just like anywhere. It's got, I'm sure your village has its problems. I mean, you said earlier about the kobolds. You're having trouble with those. I mean, you've got kobolds down in the Underdark. We had drow. What's the difference? They all want to murder you and steal your things.
You got shit everywhere, apparently.
Quite. But, it's a lovely day and you've got this lovely stag, so chin up.
That's exactly what he's going to do. He's got to, poke his chin out, oi, and that was a damn good shot, if I do say so myself. After about a few more minutes are going to pass, and you can definitely see the forest. You guys have kind of left the forest a little bit, and kind of out in front of you, you'll start to see more roads, more paths kind of converging, and you'll start to see the outline, the tops of buildings of East Runewood before you. And they've got almost a little makeshift wall. I'd say it's about 1.5 person tall. So maybe about 10, 11 feet tall, kind of a wall. But a good bit of the city is actually outside of that. You can see that you can see that there are these little hovels, little ramshackled places kind of out and about, kind of make their own little community. And Wilbur's going to start dragging the stag off the road, and about the third or fourth one in, it's not a bad size. I mean, you can definitely fit a couple of beds in there. It's bigger than what you've probably been used to in the Underdark. Just kind of home-wise, possibly, but you can kind of see they have a little chimney. It's almost like it's made of mud a bit. And he's kind of just going to open the door. Boy, get out here. And you're just going to hear these small little footsteps, and he's going to kind of just motion to you to come around the side of the house. And you're going to see he's kind of the hunter for the area, but he's got the equipment are all set up outside. There's a little bench and tabletop off to the side and towards the back end of the house. Boy, say hello to Nim. Nim, it's my son Aaron.
Oh, Aaron. How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Yeah. Very, very well, thank you. And what do you do, Aaron?
Today I'm helping my mom. I had a little bit of... He's gonna kind of look at his dad and get down at his feet. I should have been out hunting with my pa, but I wanted to take care of mom today. And the dad's just gonna kind of just look at him and be like, just nod his head.
Fair enough. It's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes you need to get your care on.
Yeah. And as you are talking to Aaron, you can see that Wilbur is just lining up a couple of pulleys, and he's just going to take the deer, and he's right there. He's going to start dressing it. You can kind of see Aaron's face drop a little bit as you start to see, dressing a deer is not going to be the cleanest thing in the world, and blood is starting to pool a little bit. And as you're looking around, you can see that there is some grass here and there around, but right around this area, no grass is growing. It's all pretty much a bit more reddish kind of dirt.
I'm going to sort of ask Aaron if he wants to show me around the village a little bit whilst his dad does the deer, because I got a feeling he's not too keen on this. So I'm going to say, Aaron, do you mind, show me around a little bit? It's been a while since I've been past these ways. His
face is going to light up a little bit. He's going to stare up at his dad, and Wilbur's just going to nod. If you give me about, say, an hour, I'll have this deer dressed, and you can have your pick of the whichever leg you'd prefer.
Nice one, Chills. I've forgotten your name, but nice one. So I'm not good with people. It's been a while since I've met people with names longer than one syllable. And to be honest, where I'm from or where I've been, they don't really care about names. So we'll just leave it at that, yeah?
You can see he's focused. He's kind of in the moment. He's going to just like, yeah. As he's just like taking the hide off this deer.
Yeah, he's loving it. Don't worry about him then.
No, he's completely in another headspace. Aaron's going to walk you around kind of like the outskirts of the city. Not really a city, the village. And it's definitely like a few rundown houses. But as you get closer to the wall, the short little wall they have going around, you can see that their stones are going to be there. It goes from a dirt path to kind of a cobblestone walkway. And there are a few shops. It starts going from like decently well built to actual, wood construction, stone foundations kind of thing. And at the very center of this town, you're going to see it was the first thing you would have noticed as you approached, is this almost just like a keep, kind of a castle, a keep of like this dark stone. And you can kind of just see as the sun hits it just right, some of the stones you could just tell that some of them are carved in some ways. Like maybe runes or some kind of enchantments or something is carved on this tower. And it is definitely well above the wall. It's probably a good 50, 60 feet tall. It's the most visible part of this town.
So I'm going to ask Aaron, like, hey, Aaron, who lives in the tower?
Oh, that's the Runic Keep. And he's going to be like all proud that he kind of remembered the name. Like, yeah, that's what it's called. That's where the triad meets. That's kind of where the gods meet. The head of the god, the city god, that is. I think the wizard lives there too. He doesn't come out much. But yeah, that's where the triad is.
Okay.
You know about them.
Yeah, your dad told me a little about them. I kind of, I haven't been this way a while, so things I'm not sure how things might have changed, but yeah, you seem quite bookish. Are you into reading?
I am. Ma loves it when I read to her.
What are you interested in?
I really like the fairy tales.
All right, okay.
I like. He's gonna keep it down quite a bit. It's like I like magic.
Easy, Tiger. Not around here. Keep it down.
And you're gonna say his face is gonna go pale a little bit. Like, yeah, yeah.
But, that's cool. Whatever, man. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. Don't let people stifle you. This place is bigger than this town.
And you're gonna walk past a couple of buildings. You got your basic butcher shop. You've got your guilds of carpentry, kind of wood shop, a few inns here and there. You had the tower, and you're gonna come across this one. It's about the size of 3 or 4 of these other lots put together, and it's just not burned to the ground, but you can kind of see like it was destroyed. Like a good portion of it is just pitch black, signs of fire, signs of smoke. It doesn't smell like smoke in the area at all. They said that this probably happened a good number of months ago, but no one's done anything with it yet, even though it's smack dab very close to the city center.
Does Aaron know anything about Aaron? Do you know anything about this?
He's gonna peek up a little bit. That's where the Mages Guild used to be.
Did they blow it up?
He's gonna look around.
Did some crazed wizard try and do some spell and just explode himself?
No, the villagers burned it.
Oh, that's pleasant. And why?
A few of them, Paul told me that they got it in their thick skulls that it needed to be run out of town.
Right. Was that acceptable? Do people kind of generally just think, okay, that's cool? Or was it, what happened?
It was a big thing. We had lots of travelers. They all came in, wanted to learn. So if I think correctly, it was about a dozen of the mages wanted to learn and practice. We hadn't had so many in so long here. But a few of he's going to kind of look back the direction you came. The outskirts don't like the mages. They don't like it when they see the magic out in the open. After a couple of... Paw said it was a couple of drunken nights. It was just a torch. A couple of torches. Some swords and a couple of axes.
Burning him's a little bit much, isn't it? Were they in there when they burnt it?
I don't know. Paul wouldn't let me get close to here for the longest time. I just know the wizard put it out.
Okay. He didn't do a good job of that though, did he? Because the whole thing's burnt down.
No, he was preoccupied. His noble didn't give him authority to until after it was burnt.
It's all a bit complicated, isn't it? It's politics, man. Not sure I'm keen on this.
Yeah, he's kind of shuffle his feet like he knows what you mean by politics. He's like, politics.
Some brash little 11-year-old. So is there anything over there that I can pick up and keep? Can I go and scavenge in the wood, in the ruins?
Roll me a perception check. Oh shit!
21.
You're gonna see that while they're not completely noticeable, kind of around it near other buildings, you're gonna see a few figures. They've got full cloaks on. They're kind of like a gray woolen cloak. Underneath, you can definitely tell that it's protruding. It's like these men don't look as though they could be this big. It looks like there are armored men in cloaks kind of stationed around the rubble a bit.
Aaron, who are the guard guys? Like, what's their game?
Oh, the Grey Cloaks. They work for Skarn, the head of the city guard.
Scone. Yeah. Has he got a friend named Cream and another one called Strawberry?
No.
Is that a British thing? You know, scones.
Oh no. I'm sorry. I said it as a Skarn, like Skarn.
Oh,
Yeah.
not scone.
No, not Skarn.
Okay. Skarn is the head of the city guards, you say?
Aye. They are his.
What are they guarding? This is just a ruin, isn't it?
They're still going through the rubble every so often, making sure that there's nothing left. They are the. He's kind of get quieter again, kind of lean towards you a bit more. They're the mage hunters.
Should we go and have a little chat with them?
His eyes just gonna drop like, huh?
Come on. Don't worry about it. You got nothing to be worried about. They're just men in cloaks. Let's go and have a word. Come on.
So he's definitely gonna stay like a step or two behind you, but he you can kind of see the curiosity in his eyes. He would love to talk to them.
Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to approach the one nearest to me and say, all right, fella, what's going on here? Do you need any help? Do you need any archaeological assistance?
He's just gonna kind of look down at you and look you over a bit. He's gonna look behind you and look at Aaron. And you just see that recognition in his face, like, okay, he knows who this boy is. No. Thank you for your assistance, though. We have this well underhand.
Well, you see, I'm a trained archaeologist and I'm noticing that this is supposedly you're going through the rubble, right? And I've noticed that you've done absolutely nothing to protect the site. So I'm going to break the news to you here and tell you that you really don't have it all under control whatsoever. And you do need assistance. So, you know, I'm willing to chip in and have a look around and see if there's anything that needs protection from the elements, if you wish. And also, what are you looking at the kid like that for?
Because I know that's Wilbur's boy. I'm wondering why he's showing you around. But mainly, we don't really give a shit if anything in this rubble gets destroyed by the elements. Be better off if it did. We're placed here to make sure no one comes in or out until Sir Skarn and his toy are finished going through the rubble.
And his toy?
The mage.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll leave you to it then. And I'm going to back off and walk away. But I'm going to say to Aaron, we're not really going to do that. Let's go and have a little scout on the situation and see what we can see. Is there a place that we can go to and we can sort of get an overview of the entire site?
Yeah, I would say across the on the other side of the road is a lovely little inn called the Blunted Tip. And it's about 2 stories. They have a nice balcony on the second floor that kind of oversees the street, and you have a great view of what was the Mages Guild.
Okay. So I'd quite like to get a bit of an overview, and if we can go up there and have a look, and at the same time I'd like to ask Aaron, like, you know, what might be in there that they're guarding?
Could be spell books, could be staffs, crystal balls. His eyes are just going to light up. You can see, like, okay, he's remembered some of this from his stories. It could be anything. It could be robes.
You pretty keen on that, Aaron? Do you want to get into a bit of trouble?
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it then. How many guards are there?
You get the ones you can see on this side. There's about 1 on each corner, so you can see 2 right now, and probably assume that there's maybe 2 or 3 more on the back end.
Okay, is there any entrance or exit that I can see? That are they all guarded, or is there like a chimney, or is there? I suppose it's all burnt, isn't it? Is there anything?
There's really no roof. All of that was kind of burned away. There is still a very large chimney sticking out about on one of the sides of it. Kind of see that it was more of a chimney for the entire building itself. So it has little fireplaces that where the levels of the floors used to be.
Is there anything opposite, like any sort of tallish buildings opposite the Burnt Mages Guild?
You mean like across the street?
Yeah, sort of like...
This is where the inn is.
Oh, right, okay. Do you think it's possible to get onto the roof of this inn?
Yeah, you can definitely see that they have kind of a ladder going up from the balcony on the second floor.
Oh, okay. Well, that's convenient. Aaron, if Aaron gave me a bunk up to the second floor, and then could he climb up himself? How tall is it?
The bottom of the balcony starts probably a good 9-10 feet above the floor, above the ground.
Okay. Just go in the inn. I'd like to go in the inn and see if I can rent a room for a night with the balcony.
We're very happy to announce our newest sponsor, Wormwood. Yes, you heard me right. That Wormwood. Their fantastic gaming accessories are without a doubt the best out there in the market, and we are very pleased to thank them for their continued support. And with their support, we can help you, our listener. At checkout, please use code DO/DICE for free domestic shipping. That's right. On their website, when you check out, go ahead and put in DO/DICE. That is one word for free domestic shipping. Thank you, and please give them a thanks for helping us out. I like dice, you like dice. You would not be listening to this podcast if dice were not somewhat involved in your life. One fantastic place to go to get dice is Dice Bard. They are one of our sponsors, and we cannot thank them enough for their support. Please use code DO/DICE at checkout for free expedited shipping on any of your orders. That is DO/DICE, one word, at checkout. And with that, you can get free expedited shipping. Thank you, and make sure to thank them. As you enter this inn, the moment you enter the door, the smell of fresh baked bread hits you right in the face. And this is something you have not smelled probably in quite some time. Behind the bar, you can see there's this big man, tall, broad shoulders. He's got like this bright smile. He's talking to a few of the other patrons as he's just like polishing the bar top and goes behind, pours a little glass of ale and drops it in front, collects the money. His hair is kind of short, slicked back, oiled, human.
Okay. I've just realised that I probably look really dodgy renting an inn room with a little boy. How am I going to not come across like a pedo to this man? Let them think what they think. They burn down mages, who cares? Okay, I'd like to approach this guy and say, the room in the balcony, is it available for the evening? I only need it for an hour or two.
After that, he's going to look at you and not really look down, but he's going to look across over to Aaron. Boy, where's your father? And Aaron's just kind of like going to step behind you.
His dad's come up from Stag for us. I'm good friends of the family.
Roll me a deception.
A -1. It's going to go well. It's a 9.
I buy quite a bit of meat from Wilbur and have not heard anything of any halflings.
Well, if you buy a lot of meat off Wilbur, then you'll be pleased to know that he's just got a massive stag. And he's dressing it as we speak, which is why I'm out with Aaron here. Listen, are you going to give me this room or not? I'm not being funny, but, you seem a bit judgy. So let's just quit this game, rent me the room or don't rent me the room. One way or the other, I'm either staying or I'm leaving. You're getting money or you're not getting money. Let's just cut to the chase, yeah?
You see a couple of the patrons in the inn are kind of, you're getting quite a bit of attention. They're kind of just going to look over at you. William is going to come over the bar. If you're a friend of Wilbur, I'll rent you the room next time I see him. Otherwise, I'm good for coin.
Judging by the state of this place, you ain't, mate. And I'm going to turn around and walk off. Say, come on, Aaron. And go around the side and just climb up then. Is there a way we could climb up to the balcony?
Yeah, the side of the inn, side of most of these buildings is slats of wood. And you can see that you've got some gaps in them where some of the, not mortar, some of the tar has kind of come away over time. Go ahead and roll me on athletics.
14.
I'd say you can definitely get up the side. It takes you a little bit. Aaron, on the other hand, isn't quite as adept with this as you are. And you can see he's kind of just scraping. He's getting like one or two boards up, and he's just losing his grip. He's gonna fall down about 3 or 4 times, and he's gonna start to make a little bit of noise on the side.
I'm gonna say, Aaron, just chill for a second, and I'm gonna get my rope out, and I'm gonna tie it to the railing. I assume is there like a banister around this balcony?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tie it to one of the slats in there and just pop the rope down and say, just climb that, mate.
He's going to grab it. You see he's going to try and... He's seen this done, so he's not quite sure what to do. He's going to kind of wrap his arm around it and just like... It takes him a second or two to understand how the hell to climb a rope, but he manages to get up there. It takes probably longer than you thought it would.
That's all right. Good job. Well done, Aaron. And then I'm going to untie the rope and ravel it back up and get it. And then you say there's a ladder from here to the roof?
Yeah, there's a off to the side. You can see it's more for maintenance than anything else. It's kind of a bit of a heavy duty thing. From the look of William inside the inn, you can see that it's heavy duty to kind of hold him.
Cool. So yeah, we're going to shoot up there then. And I'm going to say, Aaron, come up to the roof with me and we'll come up with a plan.
As you get up on the roof, you can you definitely have a much better view of how everything is in the city. It's a bit bigger than you thought it was. You've only seen probably about not even an eighth of the city, and you've been in here probably for about a good 45 minutes. But across the street, you can kind of see the burned ruins and how the third floor is completely gone. Only thing that survived was the chimney and the fireplace. The second floor is only to the side. So part of the floor looks like it's still kind of there, but crumbling away. Quite a bit of damage to it. The first floor, you can kind of look in a little bit and see that part of that is still there. Not quite sure how much damage because the front of the building is still kind of blocking it. It looks like a lot of the fire kind of came at it from an angle. So when the villagers started the fire, it sounded like they were on the roof of the next building over and just tossed some torches and possibly burned that side of the building down because the fire didn't start on the first floors.
Okay. How far over from me is this? Like, if we're standing on the edge of the roof, is it like, what's the gap between me and the chimney? It's
directly across. I'd say it's about 20 feet between the buildings because it's one of the main roadways for the city.
Okay. Then
off to the side, so the chimney is about probably 25, 30 feet because you're kind of at an angle of it.
Okay.
Because the guild hall took up about 3 or 4 lots. So you're only directly apart from about a quarter of the building.
Okay. Is there any, I forgot the name of what they are, but they're like metal, like steel bars that they would kind of jam into a chimney to hold weight, like load-bearing kind of L-shaped hooks?
Yes, pittons.
Is there any of them left over?
on the chimney itself?
Yeah, like has any survived the fire? Or
You can kind of see maybe one or two up towards the top of the chimney, but the bottom 2/3 of it, not so much.
so I'm gonna say to Aaron, like, okay, you stay up here and keep watch. You're an important part of this mission. So, it's an important job. You can't be slacking off, Aaron. I need you to keep watch for me. And I'm going to tie a rapier to my rope and I'm going to luzz it across the road and try and catch it onto one of those hooks so I can basically get a rope going across the road.
As you're starting to tie the rapier and the rope, Aaron's going to look up kind of at the sun and look at you like, but Pa's expecting us.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He's lost in his slaughter frenzy. We'll be fine.
And he's just going to nod his head like, okay.
Listen, imagine what might be in that house. Who knows? Treasure. There's enough for him to have guards on it. Let's get in there. Come on, it's exciting. Don't worry about your dad.
So you have your rapier tied. You're going to chuck it across the street.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity check.
All right. Come on, you beauty. Oof, 16.
So yeah, you throw this thing and it just flies through the air. You manage to get it. It goes over a couple of the pittons. So just goes down. You can see it's gone around one or two of them. So it kind of got caught. Your rapier, is it one of those ones that have like a hand guard?
Yeah.
So you managed to actually get that around one of the brackets. So if you pull the rope, it's got a nice secure grip on it.
Bracket, that's the word I was looking for. Okay, cool. So then Aaron, you any good with knots?
He's going to say yes, but you can tell boy's never tied a damn knot in his life.
Okay, so I'm going to say, well, let me improve on your talents then. Come on, keep an eye on how I tie this then. I'd like to tie this end of the rope to something to keep it taut. Mm-hmm. Is there anything on the roof that I could tie it to, like round a chimney perhaps, or? Yeah,
you're going to see a couple of matching brackets kind of around on that chimney, so you can definitely tie it off to one of those.
Yeah, I'd like if I can tie it off so it's taut across the street, that'd be cool.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
22. Just like that.
Damn. So yeah, you got a few, around one or two of them just to get it nice and taut. You've managed to, if you can do the little twing, it's going to vibrate a little bit, and it's nice and tight.
So from now, I'd quite like to, I suppose, stealth up at some point and shimmy across it to the other side, so I can come down the chimney. Well, get across to the other side into the burnt out ruins and then drop down. Before I leave, I should probably mention that I said to Aaron, keep a watch. If anything happens, just like shout really loudly. Don't worry about being stealthy about it. We don't need any call signs. Just let me know.
You're going to see when you say don't mention any call signs, his face is going to drop a little bit. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, all right. Well, what do you want to do? What do you want to say?
Third calls.
Okay. What have you got one that you're good at?
He is a horrible. You can barely even make the damn thing.
Yeah, that's perfect. So just do that if you hear anything. And then maybe also afterwards just shout, yeah? But okay. Bird calls first. And then, I want to shimmy across.
So are you doing like the hanging under it, hand over hand kind of thing?
Yeah, sort of like with underneath my knees and then going sort of upside down, hand over hand, just kind of shimmy across, like with my legs crossed over it kind of thing.
Okay. You managed to make it across. However, when you're about halfway across, you're going to hear the very pitiful whistles. And Aaron like, Nam! And as you look back, He's going to start pointing down, and you're going to see 3 gray cloaks just looking up at you.
I'm just going to crack on. Have they got any weapons?
You can see that, they have each of them have a broadsword, and one of them has a crossbow on his back.
Okay. But they're still on his back, yeah?
Currently, yeah.
Can I expedite this by taking my bow, whipping it over the top of the rope, and using it like a zip wire?
The problem is where the inn is 2 stories tall and the chimney you're at is 3 stories tall, you go backwards.
Oh, right. Okay, so I'm going up.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. All right. So, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, they've still got their weapons on their back. They're not shooting yet. I'm just going to crack on.
Okay.
Pretend I haven't seen them. I figure I'll deal with them once I'm in there.
Go ahead and roll me acrobatics.
Okay. Sort of made this whole affair. It made it exciting for Aaron, didn't it? He loved it.
Aaron's loving every second of this.
23.
Yeah, you picked up the speed. You're going across faster. You can see that 2 of the guards are going to go into the guild hall, and the one with the crossbow is going to, take it off and stand back and just start taking aim. You can see he's not pointing at you.
If he's pointing at the rope, it might actually be beneficial. Depends on how high up I am. I could just sort of like hold onto it, Indiana Jones style, and clatter into the wall on the right side that I want to be on anyway. Like, when they cut the bridge in the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that.
This one gray cloak is going to take his crossbow, aim it high, pull, and you're just going to hear this twing and this quick unfraying. Now, he fired ahead of you. So as this thing starts to unfray, you're going to feel a slight little slack, and the rope is going to break.
How far ahead of me is that?
It's about a good 6-7 feet.
Okay.
And you're going to start to fall and swing, but not towards the guild hall, but back towards the inn.
That's all right. I'm going to have to go down and have words then, aren't I? So, I'm going to have to bang into the inn then.
So you did, it's like George of the Jungle. You went right into it. And the thing is, with where you were, you kind of hit the cobblestones before you hit the inn because of the height difference. So it's just more of a hit the cobblestones for about 2 or 3 feet and then smack right into the side of the inn. The 2 gray cloaks that went into the guild hall were summoned back by the one with the crossbow. You can see it's the same guy you talked to at first. He's going to have his broadsword drawn, kind of pointed at you. Boy, what are you doing?
I'm going to completely ignore the guy with the sword and say to the other guy who shot the rope, you are making me look stupid in front of my friend. And then I'm going to address the guy with the sword and say, and you can put your stick away. Listen, I'm just trying to kill some time. I've got the boy, sort of babysitting him. He's showing me around. We just try and have some fun.
You'll do best to stay away from that building.
Look, it's the only exciting place around here. What else am I supposed to do with a child in tow? Just trying to find, something interesting. Don't threaten me anyway. Look, we've all got homes we want to go to. What time do you knock off? The day is fading. You've got to be out of it pretty soon. You don't want the paperwork.
He's going to look at you. He's going to look at the guy next to him. Go ahead and roll me persuasion.
Oh no, I think it's really bad. -1. Here we go. 16. Oh no, 17.
What the hell, man? What the hell? Look at his friend. His friend that has not said anything to you. He's just gonna kind of nod his head like, yeah, that would be kind of shitty.
And say, listen, You must all be finishing soon. Why don't we just, we'll meet up in the pub for a drink later. Put all this to one side.
You hear that, boys? He's buying.
Yeah, I'm buying. What time do you finish?
Got about 2 hours left.
And is there anyone on after you?
He's kind of just going to look at you like, seriously?
I'm going to say, just interested. I'm buying drinks. I might need to buy them a drink as well. We could always have it delivered, I just need to know how much money I need to come out with. Are we going to get hammered or what?
The boss is coming on the shift next with his wizard to go through a few more of the rooms.
Oh, okay. This is now or never then, really, isn't it? I'm going to think to myself.
He's gonna look at his other guards. There's not much left in there, to be honest. They went through those rooms every day for the past 3 or 4 months.
What do they think they might find?
Cleaning up, mainly. We don't want to touch anything that could be tainted. Could go off in our hands.
Listen, have you seen any crystal balls in there?
No.
What about robes?
There might have been 1 or 2 scorched ones.
Staves? Anything that's kind of a little bit cool.
Anything like that was carted off months back.
So now it's not much of anything in there.
No.
All right, well, it did kill some time, I guess. All right, well, I'll see you in the pub in a bit, yeah?
He's gonna just kind of look behind you. We'll meet you here in about 2 hours. We'll be across the street.
All right, nice one. I'll wear a red rose. And I'm going to shout up to Aaron and say, Aaron, grab a rope, will you? Actually, don't worry about it because the guy shot it and ruined it. And then I'm going to shoot him a really dirty look and say, well, anywhere that sells rapiers and ropes around here.
And Aaron's just going to nod and he's kind of just going to look down at you and be like, I'm scared of heights.
Just take the ladder, mate. Don't have to climb down the rope. Just take the ladder.
And, it took him quite a bit of time to get up the building. It's taken probably about 3 times as long to get back down the building.
I see. He'll learn.
Once he gets down to the balcony, he's just going to look around and just run into the inn. And you're going to hear kind of a high-pitched scream of, ah! You can only assume is some possibly half-naked woman that Aaron has just stumbled upon. And you just... commotion going on, and the boy is going to be beat red as he comes out the front door of the inn.
I'm just going to sort of laugh and say, well, at least one of us got something out of it, eh? Yeah, so should we get back to your dad, yeah? Probably best you don't mention any of this.
Yeah, probably best. And he's just going to, lead you back out. Cobblestone's going to turn the dirt. The guards are kind of just going to give you a nod as you and Aaron walk away. And you can see that as you get back, Wilbur is still just, finishing up dressing. And he's got, the meat is spread across the table. He's got the head kind of mounted off to the side. Look like he's about ready to, stuff it and mount it to like a plaque. And the hide is, stretched across, up for tanning. And he's just right now carving the meat off. And which leg did you want?
I don't suppose you got a rapier, have you?
Nothing so elegant, no.
Or is there a place I can buy one? Do you know?
It's a blacksmith in town.
Yeah, what time does he get off?
And you can see Wilbur's gonna like a small chuckle inside to himself. Hell, he lives above his forge. Hell only knows.
I'm gonna sort of laugh and go, yeah, I'm just kidding. Good honest chap, me.
Wilbur's just gonna mention like in town near the keep is because it's like there's a couple of about two competing blacksmiths. One's kind of higher end, the other one's a little bit lower end kind of gear. Okay, like their general location to the city center. You see the sun is starting to, crest down a little bit, getting a little bit into dusk, late evening.
Okay, do you think if I could book it there really quick before they shut, or is it too late for that?
It's probably a little, you can always try.
I'd quite like to get there as quick as I can and go to the upper class one first.
Okay.
And if it's still open, I would like to ask him if he's got any rapiers for sale.
Assuming you're just going to book it and just take off down the road. You get back into the city. You pass the guards again. They're just going to kind of look at you as you run by.
I was going to give him a cheeky wink. All right, boys.
You can kind of see that you get towards the runic tower at the center. And kind of off to the side, you'll see the traditional anvil sign kind of just blowing in the wind a little bit. And that one, you get to the door, kind of slam into it because you were running quite a bit. The door is already locked.
Okay. He lives above it though, right? So I'm going to just sort of bang on the door.
After about maybe like not even 2 minutes, you're going to hear kind of just like this heavy foot start coming down. And this dwarf, he's probably about a head and a half taller than you are. Big black beard. He's just going to open the door. Could you not see the sign?
I saw the sign, and I'm really sorry to bother you, even though I'm aware you're probably closed. But listen, I'm after a rapier. I've just lost mine. Long story. You don't want to know about it. So I'm looking to get a new one. And I went to this blacksmith over the road, and he seems a bit shoddy. And everyone sort of said this place was a bit better. So I thought I'd come and see what you've got.
You can see as you say that, he's kind of just going to perk up a little bit. Like, oh, I do have the better shop. Yeah, I've got a few. Come on in and take your pick. Be quick about it.
Okay. I'm going to sort of pick the nicest looking one and say, how much do you want for this one?
You can see they're all like very nicely forged. The blades are long. A few of them, one or two is going to be about the right size for you. And, take it off the shelf and kind of hold it up to him. He's going to look at you. That one there, 20 gold.
It's a bit pricey. What makes it worth 20 gold?
I forged it.
I know you forged it, but I'm not being funny, but I went over that other place and they all told me, everyone sort of around there said this place was better, but this doesn't seem that much better than that shoddy work that I saw over the road. And he was selling them for 5 gold. Seems like a big increase just to have your name on it. And what's your name again, sorry?
You can see, he's going to point to there's a big, you can see above a table in the back where he kind of, does unveiling of weapons. He's got a nice little sign. Just says, Foreign's Forge. Dirk Foreign is the name.
I said, look, Dirk, I've been around and I've not heard of any special weapons coming from Dirk's Forge. So let's say we call it 12 and you get back to your business upstairs, whatever you were doing, and I can go back to my friends and we can get this wrapped up quickly. I mean, how many swords do you sell that fit halflings anyway? Do you see many halflings around here? Doubt it.
He's going to come up beside you and grab another one off the shelf. This one for 13.
Let's have a look then. Is it nice? Sell it to me.
Yeah, it's about the same quality. It's a tiny bit shorter than the one you currently are holding. Good inlay. It doesn't have as many of the fine little details as the one you're holding. So it looks a little more like it was almost a mass-produced one. So he's like, 13 for this one.
All right, I'll give you 10 for that one then.
Oh, nod and hand it over.
Brilliant. So I'm going to buy that for 10 and just go back to Wilbert's and with my new rapier. And as I go past the guards, I'm going to just pull the rapier out and just sort of wave it at them and go, yeah, you owe me one.
The one that has the crossbow, you can see he's waving a rapier back at you, and it's yours.
I just shake my head, just cheek of it.
As you get back to Wilbur's place, it's definitely, lights, sun's definitely down. It's just a little hint of it above the mountains still yet. And he's got kind of 2 torches going off on either side of his little dressing area. And he's got the meat all carved up. And you can see he's just putting some salt on the pieces and just wrapping them tightly in some cloth. And as he sees you, he's gonna toss one at you.
Salty meat. Cheers, mate. So what are your plans for the rest of the evening?
Cook dinner for my wife, the boy, chopping some knives, and that's about it.
Might crack on somewhere else then, because that doesn't sound very appealing.
You had plans at the blunted tip with the guards.
Oh yeah, I was going to stand them up. I just wanted to see if I could break in. I'll say to Wilbur, I'm going to say to Wilbur, I've got some drinks on with some guards if you fancy coming for a drink in the inn.
I'll see how the missus is doing. I'll keep that in mind, but I wouldn't wait up for me.
So then I might keep my appointment despite the fact that I was going to stand him up, and I might, yeah, all right, let's go back to, I'm going to go meet him for a drink.
Okay. After all your running around back and forth, it's been just about 2 hours, and you can kind of see there are some lampposts throughout the town here and there. And there is these two guys, they're a bit bigger, and one guy is just going up and pointing at each light, and these stones are going to start to glow. And the guy in front of him is just, crisp uniform, got a nice sword by his side. Looks like he hasn't walked on anything but carpet for his entire life. His shoes, you can kind of see the shine of the lamps going off of them. And the guy behind him that's pointing at the lanterns, he's just got these robes all the way down to the ground. The bottom's got some good dirt caked onto them just because where they've been hitting the roads for whenever he walks around. Got a decent beard, comes down a good ways. Kind of a Friar Tuck kind of hairstyle. And his ears have a little bit of a point to them. And the guards, as they kind of approach the guards, each one of them is just going to salute. And the guy in front is just going to nod, and they're going to head into the building. And the guards are going to, you can see that this calm is going to come over them like, oh, thank God nothing happened. And they're just going to start walking over to the inn.
So did that wizardy looking guy go in the inn as well?
No, him and the gentleman in front went into the former mage's hall.
Oh, right, okay. Okay. I'm gonna head into the inn and see if I can meet up with these guards then.
So you open the door to the tavern, and you head back inside. As you kind of look around, get your bearings a little bit, you see the guards already seated at a booth off to the side. You're kind of gonna see this tall human with a staff kind of just walk by you as you enter. And probably end up heading towards the bar?
Yeah, so I'd like to just approach the bar and sort of speak to the barman about getting some drinks.
As you get up there, you're kind of looking up at the bar. He's going to lean over, and you're going to see the slight hint of recognition cross his face. Oh, you again.
Yeah, I'm back.
What do you need this time?
Listen, I think we perhaps got off on the wrong foot a little bit last time. Maybe my sense of humour was a bit mistimed. Look, I'm Nim, and I'm going to be spending some time in the bar tonight. So, let's start fresh, yeah?
Okay, so he's just going to nod a bit, kind of chuckle to himself. All right, I think I can agree with that one.
I'm going to ask him, is there somewhere I can pop my bow and my rapiers? I'm going to be spending some time with the guards, and I kind of want to come across as least threatening as possible. Is there somewhere I can store these?
I can store them behind the bar for you. It shouldn't be a problem. He's kind of lean over the bar and kind of just have his hand open.
Cool, and I'm going to place my little tiny bow and arrow and rapiers into his massive hand.
It's still a good height for your weapons, a good length, so he kind of grabs them and puts them back. I'll keep an eye out for them tonight.
Thanks very much. That's much appreciated.
Of course. Anything to wet your whistle?
Yeah, so what I'd really like... Well, I'd like some ales for starters. Have you got anything a little bit stronger, though? Perhaps like a strong spirit or something like that?
Oh yeah, we've got. He's kind of turn and grab a small bottle off the shelf. Got a little elven wine, a little bit of a kick to it.
Yeah, brilliant. So I'll take the elven wine. I'll take the whole bottle if that's all right. And I'd like 4 ales as well, please. Oh, do you have a pack of cards as well?
Yeah. He's gonna reach back under, kind of near where you stored your weapons. Come back with a deck of cards. We just got a new barrel in today. Some new ale. It's experimental, you could say. They've got a. It's chilled. I'll just leave it at that. It's different, but it comes cold instead of room temp.
Okay. How much is that?
It's a bit pricier. That's gonna be about silver and 3 copper a piece.
All right. I tell you what. I take one of those for me, and I'll take 3 standard ales for the guards, if that's all right.
He's just gonna kind of raise his finger like, not a problem. He's gonna kind of get you a little tray to put the elven wine and the ales on. There'll be. Well, I've had this wine for a while now, so give that to you for 4. We'll say 4 and 2 silver.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds reasonable. And I pay him. Don't try and swindle him or anything.
We'll take the coin, kind of slide the tray to the bar, and look down a little bit. Need a hand with the tray?
Oh, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be great. It might give me some credence with the guards.
He's just going to like, yeah. He'll kind of grab it and he'll come around with you. And as you sit down, he'll just plop the tray in front of you, making sure that the cold ale is kind of tilted in your direction.
Excellent. And I'm just going to thank him kindly for his service.
You gents have a good night. And he'll kind of just head back. And after a moment, he'll bring a few little glasses for the elven wine.
When he's kind of out of earshot, I'm going to say to the guards, right, we've got a problem. You've got a rapier, and I believe it belongs to me. So how about we play cards for it? Loser drinks. Let's go.
You can see all the guards are going to look at each other like nodding a bit of approval, like this could have gone a completely different way, but we're happy how this shit turned out. You guys get a couple of, rounds of cards in. Go ahead.
I want to cheat utterly.
You want to utterly cheat?
Yeah, I totally want to cheat. Aces up my sleeve, everything.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Right, I've got +3 on this beauty. Come on. I need to sleight of hand this roll. Oh, no, I don't. 22.
So, yeah, you're able to... They can't even tell. They're getting nothing but shit hands. And you're just coming out on top like, yep, there it is, there it is, there it is. As each one of them loses a hand, they're just going to drink a bit more. You can tell they're quite a bit gone. You've gotten on your side your rapier back.
Yay.
And about 6 gold pieces.
So how drunk are they?
The gentleman that you have with you, I'd say after this time you probably taught them a bit. They're going to introduce themselves. The one that was waving his dick about, aka his greatsword, is Tony, and he's kind of not the leader of this group, but he's kind of the head of the squad of the squad. The one with the crossbow, he's going to introduce himself as Parker, and the other one who really hasn't said much to you all night, is going to introduce himself as Benjamin.
So, Tony Parker, Benjamin, your job must be boring if there's nothing to guard, isn't it?
It's better than going out and fighting the kobolds, I'll tell you that for sure.
That's true. But don't you ever feel like, you want something a bit more, bit of adventure? What do you make of that guy that came in earlier with your boss with his magic chap?
Oh,
to get on?
Lord Scarn?
Yeah, Lord Scarn, that's the one, yeah. Do you get on?
He pays us well. His family is quite influential in the valley. They're focused right now on, the kobold issue and the issues with West Spring. It's, from what I hear, just shite.
So, you're probably not drunk enough yet. Let's keep playing. Let's drink some more.
As you guys, play a bit more, drink a bit more, you'll notice you start to take in kind of what's around you in this tavern. What is really glaringly weird is that there are 3 almost cleric priest looking guys in one of the corners. They're really paying attention to nobody at all. They're just talking amongst themselves. Go ahead and roll me another sleight of hand.
19.
I'd say at this point in time, they are pretty well drunk. You've got another 3 gold in your pocket.
Excellent. So I've almost paid for my second rapier.
Yep.
I'm going to say, first of all, I'm going to bring up these guys in the robes then and say, who are these fellas?
Sorry. Some religion with fire. They're traveling priests of some sort. They came from West Spring about 3 days before the disappearance. They've kept to themselves mostly. There were more, but some of them vanished themselves.
What disappearance is that?
The whole bloody city's gone.
What is it? Is it normally busier than this?
Normally, you can kind of see that Benjamin is like face first off on the side. He's snoring. He's out. Tony's going to continue talking. West Spring. Everyone there is gone. Vanished. Poof! Overnight. Half the quarry team gone. Then the kobolds come in. Get the rest of them out. Poor Sean. Basically out of a job, but he is. Half his team gone. Rambling on about some chest he found in the quarry. Can't get the shit out now anyways. Too many kobolds about.
Well, that sounds drama, doesn't it? What do you reckon? What time do your bosses get off?
They don't.
What, the Scar's going to be in there all night?
They stay in there till about dawn. And then the next shift comes in. And they just guard it until the next night. And Scarn and Travell come back.
Should we just go over there? Do you want to go over there? Do you want to show me around?
He's going to laugh to himself. And have him see me this drunk.
Yeah, you're not working. You're not on call. Who is he? He's not the boss of your life. He's just, an employer. Come on, live a little. Show me around. I
don't want to be anywhere near that mage when he's doing his. He's going to stick his hands out in front of him and just wave them voodoo.
Well, cheers for the rapier and your money and your company. It's been a pleasure. Tell me honestly, how confident were you that you were actually going to make that shot and hit that rope?
Parker's just going to spread his hands. I always hit my mark.
Yeah, I bet you do. I'll pat him on the back and say, well, it's been a pleasure. And I'm going to go and have a little chat with these guys in the white robes.
Okay. Tony and Parker are just going to chuckle and they're just going to drink a little bit more. And they're pretty much going to, pick up Benjamin, leave a couple of copper on the table and just kind of like escort him out. Benjamin is not looking great.
As they're leaving, I'm just going to say, are you chaps on tomorrow morning?
Thank the gods, no. We're not on until the early afternoon.
All right, well, I might see you around. See you later, lads.
Aye. You kind of see as you get kind of closer to the guys in the white robes, you can see very clean. Surprised they have bleach in this world, and these clerics have it. One of them, however, is going to have like this little red stole kind of around his neck. You kind of see that he's a bit higher up. He's kind of carrying himself a little more higher than the other two. And he's, they've all, shaved heads. But this one that has the stole has a like nice, tidy, kind of like red mustache.
Can I just sit down at their table and just say, "Hey, you're from West Spring"?
Not from West Spring, but we were passing through, spreading the good word.
I hear things are getting a bit wrong down there.
Yes, a few days after we left West Spring, we heard word from the guards that the quarry team had gone missing. A few of them went to investigate and never returned. As a show of good faith, some of our brothers went as well, and unfortunately, they also did not return. So we are staying in this town for the foreseeable future.
So they went into the quarry and they disappeared, you say?
No, the quarry team vanished from West Spring.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I got you. But no one knows where?
No.
They were headed out anywhere, or did they just vanish in their beds?
They never showed up from what Sean had told the Triad. And because so many of our number were missing during it as well, we have come to understand that they never came into work one morning. A group of guards went to investigate, never returned. A few volunteered parties have gone out, but nothing. He's looked to one of the other priests. A week? The other guy's just gonna nod vigorously. A week later, the quarry was attacked by a band of kobolds. I take it you're not from around here?
No, not really. Ironclad?
Ah, yes.
Lived there for a while, and I've been away for a few years. I'm just on my way back to Ironclad now, actually. Just passing through.
That's a good thing you didn't pass through West Spring.
Apparently so. What are they quarrying for? I'm an archaeologist by trade, see,
Marble.
Oh, right. So nothing, no antiquities.
No, though. Sean keeps going on about some box they found, but with the kobolds, it's difficult to investigate from what we hear.
They found a box.
I have no idea.
Do you know anyone that might have an idea? Where did you hear this from?
From Sean. Was at least the head of the quarry. I heard it from him. He was rambling one day, had a bit too much to drink.
Yeah. Well, just like to get my name out there. I might be able to lend some help for this box with my archaeologist knowledge, and I might be interested in it myself. Where is this? In West Spring?
He's kind of just gonna point down the road. If you take the southern route, not through the forest, but around the forest, on the way to West Spring, there's a quarry between the two towns. It was a joint venture of sorts.
All right, well, I might stick my nose in as I'm on my way to Ironclad and see if my assistance is needed at all on the box issue.
What is your name, lad?
Nim.
The guy with the red mustache on the stove, he's just going to nod his head. I am Father Brighton. These are brothers Kirk and Silas.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Do people like you guys here?
They are indifferent. They have their own... Let's just say they have their own ways about things and not quite interested in how we view them.
Okay, which is, are you talking religious or
Yes.
the magic deal?
No, religion. We're not much for the mages either.
Yeah, no, it seems there's a lot of people with that issue. Well, all right, I'm not really that interested in religion either, so I'll see you later, guys. And I'm going to get up and just walk off.
If you ever change your mind, we'll be here.
Yeah,
for the
not going to happen.
future.
It's always the same with you lot. Fucking hell. And I'm going to just walk out the front door and look for a bush to sleep in.
A bush to sleep in?
Yeah, why not? It's been a while. I haven't been out in the open for a while, so I'd like to sleep, under the stars. Oh, before I leave, I'm just going to nip back to the bar and ask for my weapons back.
It is a gorgeously clear night, and I'd say there's not really a lot of bushes. You either have the town square, which is where there's a couple of city guards, or kind of in the outskirts out near where Wilbur and his family lived with a couple of the other kind of lower class citizens. There's definitely a lot more nature and trees and bushes out there.
I keep wanting to go back to that mage's place. There's no need. So, okay, I'm going to go to the outskirts then and just see if I can find like a place where, it looks decent enough to make a camp. Not a camp, but, just kind of bed down for the evening.
Yeah, you can definitely find a couple, and you can see there's a couple of other travelers who didn't want to pay for a room at the inn. But you've got a place a little ways off that you can, you found a nice little patch of earth and some nice, foliage, some nice leaves to make a nice little, bed out of.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm going to just bed down there for the night then.
And that is probably a good place to wrap it up for the evening. If this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. Do or Dice is produced weekly for your enjoyment. Show notes, character sheets, and bios can be found at doordicepodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter or Facebook at Do or Dice Podcast. The Do or Dice Podcast is associated with the Nerdsmith Network. Check out some of the other contributors at nerdsmith.org. Do or Dice is a very new podcast. Please give us a 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you shop for your podcast. Thank you again for your support, and check us out next week. Same dice time, same dice channel.
There was a time when dragons